It seems like it's helped a little bit to cut down, but the day that they put the oil, people were driving through like crazy and it was like a.
I wanted to do it.
It's worthy of it. It's got-
Okay, we're live. Now call to order the Common Council for the City of Huntingburg. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Dear Father God, we thank you for all those that are here to serve the city today, and let their hearts be open, their minds be open, and that decisions made here are for the benefit of the citizens of Huntingburg. These things we ask in your son's name. Amen.
Amen.
You're saying call for a motion for accept the approval of minutes.
Through the minutes, motion made.
I'll second it.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of claims. Any questions or
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. First thing we have on here, last fall, the park board approved usage of a contract with to put a retaining wall around the new courts, because of the way we had to line up with the tennis courts, we had to put a retaining wall, kind of change that through there before we could pave. However, the council had never approved the expenditures. The money is a part of the lit for the already budgeted in the lit for the park and for pickleball use. So what we're asking for today is just a motion to accept the contract as it's written here. Should have conflict with Jaminski contracting.
And the project's been done for weeks, so
Yeah,
you need a motion to approve the expense?
yes,
Motion made.
I'll second.
we got a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City Attorney Phil Schneider.
I have nothing.
Wow. We're used to 3 or 4 resolutions.
Yeah, yeah.
How about Clerk Treasurer Tom Dipple?
Nothing.
All right. Okay. Do we have any council items this evening?
Only Tom can reiterate that the state board of council in. You're all gonna be getting emails about their presentation. You do have to respond. So don't just blow it off. You can
It's
just-
good that you said it, because sometimes I'm so nervous to click on anything that
he
I
said even
receive.
if, you know,
Well, I saw it, but I didn't respond.
Yeah, because I was nervous. I thought it was a trick. So
Alright.
good that you told us.
Yeah, they're all the council, some of the employees, and
Okay,
because I've heard of them, some have already done it.
If you don't have any objections or questions, you can write down at the bottom, just no objections as is.
Is that already been sent, or are we still on the way?
I got mine.
I got mine, but
I got one too, but I just didn't.
I didn't respond because
If
I
you don't
wanted
respond,
to
they're
ask
gonna
more
keep
questions.
bagging you on.
Okay.
All I have, yeah.
All right. They started live last Monday, was it? I can't remember, but
Yeah.
Yes, last,
been,
Monday, yeah.
been here for a while, so. Anything else from any council items? Nope. Got any citizen items? This is where we open it up. I know we have a lot of people that aren't from the city. Would like to, if we can get Janet to go first, if that's possible.
yes.
Because Janet's meaner than the rest of you and we got to pay. We like Janet. Janet's just has a quick presentation of a couple minutes here if we could. Give
Just
her
wanted to
that
catch you
time.
up on the ordinance update for the boarding, that we're now at the point where the letter's been sent. Pictures have been identified, what needs to be cleaned up, and now we actually have to go through and actually put the details down as to where the problems are. And so that's where we're waiting now, and that's why I really encourage the neighbors to be a part of this process. If they notice that I've gotten the letters from Tom, that sends a copy, and we have to talk about not being that rate. But you can get the copies from Tom, who it is, you have all the pictures, what they're identifying, but then the neighbors can also identify other areas that maybe may have been missed, or like I have pictures where it hasn't changed. So next process is what we're waiting for, is to actually go through and on the property, that Donnie Hyde will actually identify each individual item that needs to be addressed. So That's it.
Thank you.
Walk 25 to 30 miles, saw a deer, saw a snake, we see lots of rabbits, we see lots of cats.
Mm,
And yeah, but in downtown.
yeah, oh dear, wow, wild. That's exciting.
Thanks, Jen.
I had 2 deer run in front of me in Jasper on Newton Street this morning.
Mm.
And so, yeah, they're out running around.
They're out,
Mhm.
for sure.
Thank you,
Thank
Janet.
you.
Thank you. Try not to be mean to you, but you're a good woman.
You can sign that.
And thank you for your help with that. Thank you.
And do you know how many people are speaking or?
No, I just wanna,
Okay.
so Elizabeth's gonna be sharing,
Okay.
what we want to present, in terms of a resolution for you guys to consider. There, but she would like to read it to you. If that's okay, and then if anyone has any comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then, oops, sorry, I only got, here's one for Tim. I know he said he wasn't gonna be here today, but
Thank you.
someone, and then
Oh, goodness.
let me get that. I only have 5 copies of this, so.
I have.
No, this was different.
Oh, okay.
One of the members wanted to,
Okay.
share this with the group too. It's separate from the resolution.
Oh, okay.
So. I got 2 more.
We'll make sure Tim gets a copy of it. I will pick up Tim's copies when.
All right.
I'm here, so
Thank you.
I'll make sure he gets everything.
You're on.
Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Huntingburg, Indiana. Whereas since the 1980s, 5 different studies prior to the current Lockmuir study have determined building a new terrain highway and or bypass through Du Bois County, including the Donahue study, Rust study, Earth Tech study, Cambridge study, and I-67 study were not economically and are environmentally feasible. Whereas in June 2021, Governor Holcomb announced $475 million in infrastructure projects that included $75 million to make major improvements to existing US 231 through Du Bois and Martin counties. Whereas in April 2022, after the release of the Tier 1 DEIS, NDOT held public comment meetings with hundreds of residents in attendance opposed. Over 95% of the verbal comments opposed and received more than 1,000 written comments opposed to the Mid-States Corridor project. Some of the reasons provided included the displacement of over 100 homeowners, over 1,800 acres of farmland taken, 870 acres of forest cut down, over 60 plus acres of wetlands, the negative impact on the environment and natural habitat, significant losses to the tax base, a loss of agricultural income over $1 million annually, and the lack of true proven benefits at a cost of well over $1 billion at 2020 cost. Whereas due to the process of establishing an appointed Regional Development Authority, RDA, and not giving the residents, environmental, and other groups a voice in the initial start of this project are allowed to vote, over 10,000 signatures were gathered and submitted petitioning their opposition to the Mid-States Corridor project. Whereas opposition to this proposed project continues to grow publicly, as noted by the Facebook group Stop the Mid-States Corridor Project, with over 5,400 followers, a reach of almost 50,000, and an engagement of over 28,000. Residents have displayed over 500 Stop the Mid-States Corridor yard signs. Hundreds have attended several town hall and other meetings in opposition. Numerous letters to the editor and media interviews both locally and regionally.
Whereas the proponents of the proposed Mid-States Corridor continue to falsely promote the economic development opportunity and growth without any factual data to back up their projections and assumptions. Whereas it is our opinion, the existing road network, along with improvements on the existing US 231, will adequately connect the region and avoid massive destruction of our rural landscape and communities. That the state funds can be better spent maintaining and repairing existing roads, and that taxpayers, county, and societal costs of the proposed far outweigh any potential local benefits. These reasons and others, in our judgment, indicate a lack of need for this project. Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Huntingburg, Indiana hereby opposes and will no longer support the continuation of the Mid-States Corridor New Terrain Highway Project and any other alternative other than the previously identified improvements for the existing US 231. Furthermore, the Board of Commissioners will not grant powers of eminent domain or otherwise land acquisition to the unconstitutional Mid-States Corridor Regional Development Authority, nor will we authorize any additional tax dollars to this project, adopted this day of June 2025. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess we would ask, are there any questions?
My name is Jeff Bounds. I don't have any particular questions. I've stayed pretty plugged in to the project, the data that your group has been, I'm not sure the name of the group, but the Stop the Mid-State Corridor Project group. As well as, you know, trying to consider the benefits of the project, and so I don't feel like I have any additional questions at this time. But I do obviously appreciate you guys summarizing this in the way that you have.
What is your name of your group?
Well,
Who are you representing?
So we're represented here by two groups, okay? The Coalition Against the Mid-States Corridor is really the grassroots group that formed early on, probably 5 years ago or so.
6.
Yeah, so 6 years. And then more recently, once they made the decision to start the Tier 2 study and identified the route, especially through Dubois County, an offshoot of our group or growth of our group became the Property Rights Alliance. And these are the landowners, the farm owners, business owners whose property will be taken. That if it goes through, that's in the path, along with just neighbors and friends that support them. So the group, other people can speak up, just continues to grow as more of this information gets out. Just share with you, and we've always made this available to the public, and especially the local councilmen, commissioners in Dubois County. But the Property Rights Alliance group, we hold a meeting every other Thursday. So this Thursday, there will be one at 7 p.m. We hold it at the Schnitzelbank in the private, I guess, semi-private room, private room, whatever it is. I gotta tell you, the last few meetings, it's been overcrowded. We haven't had enough seats really to accommodate people, but we're gonna continue on because more people come and more people have questions about it. it's been interesting over the course of time, how many really were not engaged in understanding. And now that they're reading and hearing more about the details of it and what's happening and the costs involved and how much destruction, now all of a sudden we're like, okay, what can we do? How do we help? And it just keeps growing. I mean,
Well, I've conversed with several members of your group and thank you for the information I've been given. I've been cordial conversations and so I do appreciate that and appreciate the work you're trying to do to help, you know, your fellow neighbors and working together with that. I don't think we're going to get a signature tonight. First of all, a couple of things, you know, first of all, our resolutions have to be in a certain format that's run by our attorney, first of all, and I don't know that there's anybody ready to sign a resolution against. I don't think that there's anybody here ready to sign a resolution for either at this point, and they can speak for themselves as council members, but I think that more information has to be given before we make a further study. From my opinion, our council, they speak for themselves. I don't vote on resolutions. I don't sign resolutions. But our council obviously has this available to them. So
if there is a specific format that, you know, that needs to be done, we can redo it to accommodate that, so it's official.
yeah.
Got a question, I'm not even sure how to ask it, but, I've been following this for some time and seeing the opposition in the local DuBois County area, but, I'm not as privy to the Martin County information. Is Martin County as adamantly opposed? Do they have such a following? I don't know.
Is there anyone here from Martin? Yeah, that's here from Martin County, but
And I'm asking because of my own ignorance. I just haven't heard much about the Martin County part of it. I'm pretty familiar with what's going on locally because it starts, 4 miles down the road and where it would take off. And I know most of the people between here and the 4 miles in some form of fashion. And I'm aware of that. But in Martin County, I've not heard. When I drive there, I go to Indianapolis and different places a lot, and I don't see the amount of signage and things like that up there, but I don't know.
I know there's signs along 231 in there, but they're just as, I would say, engaged, if not more engaged in some cases. Jason McCoy is the chair of the Property Rights Alliance. Several landowners there have been actively involved with the Property Rights Alliance, even though the study right now is strictly in DuBois County.
That's what I thought.
The
I thought
next
that.
tier would be Martin County.
And
Davies County, which is a little bit impact up
a
there,
tiny amount.
I haven't heard much.
I know that Martin County has a lot more, say, I don't know, government land and things like that they're not able to get property tax and some other things from. So I was wondering if that was, how that affects them.
I don't know,
And
Ed
it's-
may have some more.
Not really, one of the things that we had talked about was, putting a road through, they don't have, anytime you put a road through, you lose even more taxes. And there is.
Could be very much so. I don't, yeah, and that's why I'm asking. I'm not heard so much. I understand the DuBois County opposition, especially on the south half, more into, but into Martin County, I just don't have a feel for what that means for
I
you.
guess the pressure hasn't gotten to Martin County just yet. The thing that I found interesting is I've talked to several neighbors and a lot of people just aren't even aware of it. And it has started to become more aware. Jason McCoy lives up the street from me and yeah, he's been very active in it. But one of the things that we had talked about is the lack of taxes to support this kind of road. And the other thing is, the road is gonna be about a quarter mile away from where 231 is now in Martin County, going almost all the way up. And it's gonna go through some of the really good farmland. I don't own a farm, but I have a house that's right next to farmland, about 100 acres of farmland that's in a valley, and it's just primo property.
Yeah,
And it seems like the route they've taken is going through the places where they've cut down all the trees and flattened the road, flattened the ground already, you know, for them to go through. Of course, it's cheaper to go there. But the thing that also I keep going back to is, yes, in Martin County, you've got a lot of government property, but you also are going to make you're going to get rid of some more of the tax-paying property by putting a road through. It'll be gone. Plus, you have to maintain the old road. And that's one of the things that going through Du Bois County, I mean, going through Huntingburg, you know, right downtown, who's gonna maintain that now?
well,
That's gonna fall on the taxpayers.
they're already discussing that. You know, they'd like to hand that baby right off to us.
Yeah.
And say, take care of that. So I
They
don't
would.
know.
It's not just roads, it's bridges, culverts, I mean, things that cost millions of dollars to fix a bridge.
I'm fully aware because they're already asked that, it's sort of like the road is theirs, but the pipes underneath it suddenly are ours. And the mayor has spoken many times about it, so.
So again, the other point with Martin County, so our group has held a couple town hall meetings, here in Du Bois County. Where we've had like a couple hundred people each time, and we have been asked to sometime this summer do a town hall up, in Martin County, because more and more people are asking about it. They know that if something happens here, they're next.
Right.
And they don't want it.
The mayor of Lagodi been to several of our meetings and he's strongly against it.
Yeah.
It might run everybody right around on Lagodi. And they get a lot of income from the travelers, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sort of on the fence. I see both sides of it, but it's so. I'm not sure how much impact personally I can make, you know. I would like a quicker way to Indianapolis, but I'm not sure. I don't know if this is it or not. I'm not in a position to, I haven't studied it the way you all have studied it and supposedly the way they all studied it. So, you're kind of coming up with different answers.
Yeah.
So maybe there could be something in the middle that they're not talking, that nobody's talking about. I don't know.
And I think this is something that we have kind of discussed a little bit, and it's definitely weighing very heavy on our hearts. The decision, you know, just that we want to make sure that we're making the best decision possible for our citizens. And so it is definitely something that is, we're not taking lightly, and it is weighing heavy on our hearts.
It is, I drive to Owensboro personally quite a lot. And if anybody has driven whatever that 231, I guess, or whatever, the 4-lane through there, it's not well maintained either.
No.
It's bam, bam, bam. There's sinkholes, or I don't know, there's dips, there's things that shouldn't be there.
And they never want to mention what is it, 22
22 county.
22 county roads that are cut off. So it's not quicker for those residents, you know, they have to now go around to get access to 231, and it takes them longer. And the same thing is gonna happen in Du Bois County. We've identified all those. Personally, the thing that troubles me the most is, I guess I'm a geek at data and stuff, but when they came out with the DEIS, the draft environmental statement at first, what was it? I can't remember, 1,100 pages, 1,600 pages or something. I went through it in detail and found so many areas within the document that contradicted each other. And too many of these, well, we project this will happen, or we assume this is going to happen. it's full of assumptions, it's full of projections that is not supported by any data. And I've tried to bring that up with NDOT, I've tried to bring it up with the Lockmuir Group. I've challenged Du Bois Strong on it. Even recently, after we gave the same resolution to the county commissioners here recently. And the director of Du Bois Strong was there, and he had a prepared statement after we all talked and stuff, and it was just full of hearsay. It was just, this is,
Excuse me.
this is what we need, and that type of stuff, but there's nothing, no substance behind it.
I don't,
Which is really troubling for the community and the whole.
I do think everybody that sits up on this side of the table, has some level of understanding for where you guys are at and how you guys feel, and we've been monitoring it for a pretty long time now, and
Thank you.
I understand. I don't know that whether we'll get to the point where we'll sign this or not, but that doesn't take away from the fact that we know where you're at, and we're trying to help in ways we can. I don't know if this is the way we can help either side, does this even do anything for them?
Does the Alliance or the coalition have a website with the Property Rights Alliance has a website. With the Coalition Against the Mid-States Corridor, we had a website at one time, and we just didn't have a webmaster or anything like that. So we've been using Facebook. That's the place where we just disseminate, the information and get the comments. And I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I just wanted to say that, back in 2018, each of Jasper, Huntingburg, and Du Bois County each had to kick in money for the Mid-States Corridor Regional Development Authority. And on April 16th, when NDOT and Lockmuir did their presentation at the Jasper Middle School, one of the NDOT representatives, I asked them, I said, okay, you got the money from the counties and from private entities to start the tier 1. Then there's a contract with NDOT to cover the cost of the tier 2, $15 million. What happens then? They will come back to the cities and the county for more money to continue with the project. So it's not done. In addition to having the old road dumped on you to maintain, you're gonna have to pony up more money just to get this project off the ground once they get done with the tier 2 study. So it's a very, very expensive proposition. And when you mentioned driving through Spencer County on US 231, just take a look. Number one, take a look at the crosses that are there. That highway has been so deadly since it opened to traffic in March of 2011. I don't want to see that happen to Du Bois County. But the proposed road that they've got is basically to provide a through route for traffic going from Nashville, Tennessee to Indianapolis. It's going to bypass everything here. It's not going to help or benefit any of the residents here, but we're going to suffer the fatalities. We're going to bear the cost of maintaining this road. We're going to have the cost of policing an extra highway. There is no benefit for the residents. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, good point. Classmate of mine succumbed about a year ago down on 1200 down there. She was looking at me.
I have a comment. You know where I live? I live between Holland and St. Henry. That quarter-mile area, that's where my aunts, my uncles, I've got cousins, neighbors, we've known our whole lives. They take their homes. Where are they gonna go? There's very, very few homes for sale in Du Bois County, especially out in the country. These people have lived their whole lives out in the country.
Residential. There's nothing
Where are
out
they
there.
gonna go? My aunts, when they built their houses, my aunts and uncles, 50, 60 years ago, those houses cost $20,000 to build.
Yeah.
for them to tear those houses down and them to have to build to replace it, they'll never be able to afford it. You have to think of impact that's gonna have on everybody. And I think our Facebook page, they said there were 50 or 50,000 hits. The last 3 weeks, I look at it, every week we have about 250,000 hits on our Facebook page.
Wow.
And if this road goes through, we're gonna plaster every day. We're gonna have pictures. We're gonna have farmers standing by the bulldozers. And it won't be 250, it'll be 1 million people seeing it.
Tom says we're out of money.
That's
a standard answer for everything, though.
It's a decision. Of like 18 reasons not to build a road. And I think most of you will probably could hardly disagree with any of them
Yeah, I'm not looking.
after you read.
I read through them, yeah.
I guess I would just like to say, just to, remember that the agricultural community in Du Bois County is strong. It brings in tax dollars, it brings in property tax dollars, and, that industry should be upheld and protected as much as somebody's warehouse or somebody's road crew or somebody's trucking company. I can't take a check and go buy 160 acres that replaces what this road's gonna go through for our family. I can't move my warehouse like somebody else might be able to just move it out of the way of a road. Good quality farmland cannot be replaced. So we just hope that our industry has as much weight when these decisions are made as some of the other industries that are pushing from the other side.
I didn't catch your name, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm Vicky Roundtree. My family is Leroy and Aileen Kirstein, and our 160 acres sits on 200 West, just north of the Huntingburg Airport.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you all for being here today, and thank you to our council for engaging,
Thank you for
asking
your
good
time.
questions.
Thanks for coming.
And
Appreciate
again, there's always an open invitation if you'd like to come. We're not the type of group that's gonna get a political leader in our meeting and then just attack them.
You've never been that way with me, and I appreciate it.
You may have heard about the 121 property owners that have been sued by NDOT. And in that case, originally, one of the things they made claim to is when the surveyors came on the land, that some of them felt threatened. And we don't threaten anybody. We don't threaten. No, there've been a lot of cases where people have said they felt threatened, but no, we're cordial. We want to express the facts. Is what we want to do, and just we prefer decisions being made.
You're passionate about your cause, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
Yeah.
If you're, we shouldn't be threatening regardless, and I don't believe that, but I think it's okay to be passionate, and I think you don't get hurt, and I don't think anybody up here would be afraid to go to the meeting that they would get attacked. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to hear it all. I mean, we're supposed to be able to do that. If you sit at this table, you're supposed to hear differing viewpoints, and you got to deal with it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. You agree, right?
I do agree, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thank you all.
Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Thursday,
You got
7 p.m.
chicken?
Schnitzel.
We'll save you a chair.
And the chicken wing.
Bring your tag.
Dark meat for me.
If anybody doesn't have any other business, I would entertain another motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
What about, I'm sorry, you showed up late. Do you have a comment?
Sorry, I don't have anything. Sorry, I missed the last couple, but I'm here now.
Okay.
With that, He has nothing, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Adjourn at what, 6:05 PM? Thank you. It's still live right now, just so you know, so.
Yeah, so you know it's. That's why.
Here, I mean, if they don't go up there, but.
All right, no longer live.